DeFi investors, this is the Flywheel quietly minting new millionaires in cryptocurrency. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact DeFi loop that we're using from deposits, borrowing, redeploying, and auto-accelerating to turn bull run portfolio to a printing machine with decentralized finance. E.g., you get way more coins for way more dollars in this bull run. In the next few minutes, what I'm going to promise you is, number one, you're going to get the protocols and collateral to use so you can implement this for yourself in a few clicks of a button. Number two, you're going to get the risk settings that keep you printing in this bull run. And number three, you're going to get the exact automation flywheel that turns this into a compounding machine. Stay to the end, I'm going to give you a one-page flywheel checklist so you can run it without guessing. But first, I want to talk about the mistake that nukes most people running this and how to avoid it in seconds. And it's this. So if I show you this on screen right now, a lot of people will start chasing APYs, right? So what they'll do is they'll come on a pool, okay, and they're looking at Solana, which is a solid, coin that we recommend you guys stack for your bull run bags and use DeFi for. But they'll compare it against a coin like GOAT. Now, this is not GOAT, it's Maximus that did super well. I think it kind of went to zero or pretty much close to this. This is another completely random coin. And what they'll do is they'll see 1,636% APY. I'll be a millionaire in the next 3 months. Now, technically that would be true, but the problem is GOAT is going so much down compared to Solana that it doesn't matter, and this is the key point in this video before I give you the strategy and how you can implement this for yourself using blue chip assets, which I recommend you do, by the way. It doesn't matter if GOAT goes down whatever percent. This APY, even if this was 1,000,000%, this is not going to save you. So again, the key message that a lot of guys that I used to make at the start was chasing APY. We want to do this in our solid blue chip assets to buy more Bitcoin, to buy USDC, to buy more Ethereum, XRP, whatever coins you're interested in. We can take these free bets, but this is not a pool that I would start with. So I think that's very important. Most people, they lose to impermanent loss, and this is a big example of really losing to impermanent loss. All right, guys, I'm going to give you the title behind this video, and I'm going to show you how you can do this. The secret strategy, the DeFi strategy that can create millionaires. And I genuinely believe this. I'm going to show you some proof in a second. But I want to talk about two investors. You're going to have a player A, and by the way, there's no right or wrong answer. Player A and player B, or player one and player two, 25K bull run bag. Let's say you have a portfolio of 25K. Now, if you have more than that, if you have less, you can just use the numbers to whatever you desire. But again, we are doing the exact same thing, okay? So I'm going to put these two players in the same category, e.g. they have the same coins. The difference is, this guy to the right, if he implements a strategy I'm going to give you, is going to have a lot more coins to ideally sell for more dollar value when this bull run's all done and dusted with. So again, the difference between player A and player B, or player one and player two, is player two, compared to player one, is he puts his assets to work in a way that he doesn't have to chase APY, doesn't have to chase shit coins, and avoids impermanent loss. So let's say that player one and player two, they both get a 10x. I want to keep the thing the exact same. Okay, they invest in the same coins, they get out the same price, and they get the same multiplier on the bull run bags. Okay, by the way, 10x is super good. By the way, I'd love a 10x in my portfolio. That'd take me up to about 12 million. I'm really going for a 35x because I'm in some more stable coins right now, meaning like Bitcoin, Ethereum, HBAR, and I've already rid some of those coins up to a 5x plus. But at this current time recording, let's just say both these guys get a 10x. So player one, he's a hodl investor, and he leaves with 250K. Okay, 10x and 25 is 250K. Player two, the DeFi hybrid inversion, he can leave, and this is not a joke, with 500K to $1 million, doing the exact same thing, but just putting some of his assets to work. And again, this is combining two different elements of the same mixture. Now, here's some quick maths for you before I show you how player one and player two can do this. Or really, player two is what you're interested in if you're watching this video. I've run a group with over 100 DeFi investors, ranging from big guys with big portfolios and small guys with a couple $1,000s. Daily rewards obviously vastly different, but I really hold these results close to my chest, and I want to hit them even further, but this is real proof, okay? Collectively, I made a video here how we are all doing collectively $5,000 plus per day. It's about $5,700, and we track this very vividly, but $5,000 a day, okay? And again, this is not including what we were actually doing because we were actually accumulating the coins, but just in dollar values, we're doing $5,000 a day. That's 35K a week and 150K a month without including compounding, which is crazy. And we've got just over 100 members right now, so I'm super proud for these guys joining, and obviously they've made back their initial investment with doing these kind of numbers. And again, here's some quick proof. We've got Brock here doing 4K a week, we've got Jesse here doing 1K a day, we've got some smaller guys here doing 6K, and by the way, 6K in 5 weeks, and buying a sauna is not small, but it's pretty small compared to some guys like Grant doing £2,000 per day, and we've got Oliver here doing about 1K per week in his first Solana pool. This Solana pool is very different than the first Solana pool I told you, okay, because he's not accumulating goat coin that's going to go to zero. And the whole goal with our group is to get consistent cash flow, okay? And this is probably your goal in cryptocurrency and DeFi, right? Where you can make more coins to sell for more dollar value. So you can go on trips like this. You can sit, I'm in Vietnam right now filming these kind of videos, and this is kind of the view from the kind of beach bar at the top. It's pretty effing cool to see this and having your pools pay for this full trip for you. This is not a trip that I wanted to go on, by the way. I'm doing a visa run, but Vietnam's pretty cool. So if we go back to the fees we're making of 5K per day, 35K per week, and 150K per month, and again, we're keeping the coins that we're stacking. This is not even including compounding, and the goal for us, remember, is player 1 and player 2 was a 10x. At 5K per day, if we're doing a 10x on this, comes 50K per day collectively, not personally. 35K a week becomes 350K per week and 1.5 million per month. So it's pretty crazy what you can do. But let's go back to our two players that we introduced at the start of this video and showing you how powerful stacking blue chip assets on DeFi pools can be. So player 1 and player 2, they're deploying 25K, okay? And again, we're going to keep the same inputs, and I'm going to show you how the outputs are vastly, vastly different. So let's just say player 1 is 12.5K in XRP and 12.5K in Ethereum. So again, I'm not going to give you price predictions, but let's just say XRP does a 5X and Ethereum does a 2X. XRP would go to about $15 in that, give or take, and Ethereum would go to about 8.5K, give or take at the time of recording. Again, I'm not here to talk about price predictions, but to do the maths on player 1 and player 2 to give you the outcomes, this is what we kind of have to do. So the 12.5K in XRP goes to 62.5K. Pretty effing good. Very, very nice. 12.5K in Ethereum goes to 25K. Not bad, okay? And this player 1, he leaves with $87,500. And that is very good. So there's no disregard to the hodl mentality. And the real is this guy leaves some money. A lot of new investors, especially the first bull run, they ride all the way back down, just like me in 2021 and 2022, that read up to 950K and completely lost it all. Player 2, okay, we're playing the exact same game, getting the same return, but I want to show you how vastly different the 12.5 in XRP and the 12.5 in Ethereum is. So the difference between player 1 and player 2 is player 2, okay, he uses pools, he provides a service, liquidity, and he gets paid fees every single day, and he gets paid in XRP and he gets paid in Ethereum. So there's a couple of pools that you can use. These are just quick pools that we're using, but there's many more pools that you can do on VFAT. And you can set this with a wide range. I know there's a comment already saying, what about the ranges, etc.? You can do a 20% range on this. And again, the reason why this is so good is because 20% will most likely be good enough because these assets are pretty much stable against each other, although XRP, I think, will beat Ethereum, but you can accumulate more on the upside. You can raise the XRP to the upside so you can stay in range, okay, if you know what you're doing. And you can always rebalance, let's just say if XRP just goes a little bit further than Ethereum. But again, I think asset to asset pools that follow each other pretty well are pretty effing good when you can get this kind of APY of like 90%, 80%, 40%, 150% on some of these pools. And you can even do this on Bitcoin as well. So there's some Bitcoin wrapped versions here, but again, we're just going to do this Ethereum and XRP example. So at 100% APY in this 20% range, that comes over to 8% per month. So remember, 8% per month is 8 to 12 is what we kind of want in safe assets. Obviously, the more riskier coins, like I've got a Black and AVEX pool that I spoke about many times before, and a full range pool that's creating me pretty much 1% per day. That's a different game. We're talking about XRP and Ethereum. You're not going to get full range 1% per day. I would love it, but it's just not available right now. So 8% of $50,000 is 4K per month, and that comes out to 1K per week. Now remember, if you compounding this daily back into the pools, it'd be even more, but I don't want to do the maths on this right now. It just gets too effing complicated. I don't have my spreadsheet right now. So regardless, you're going to be getting back, if you reinvested in the pool, 2K in XRP and 2K Ethereum every single month without compounding every single day, which I recommend you should do, which would give you about $20,000 more in fees by the week, meaning the 12.5 in XRP and the 12.5 in Ethereum turns into 22.5 XRP and 22.5 in Ethereum. Obviously, if these assets go up, which like they should, it's going to be slightly different depending at the time of recording. And that turns into the bull run bag compared to player 1, 112,500 on XRP of the 5X and a 45K on Ethereum at around about 2X. And he leaves with 157 and some change compared to player 1 that leaves with 87. And that's a $70,000 difference, man, in just 3 to 4 months. That's about the price of this AP that I bought. Okay, that is fucking crazy. And that's just talking about the dollar value. Remember, we were accumulating the coins to then sell for the dollar value. And you can probably see if we kept doing this, again, in the bear market, stable coins is what we want to do because we don't want to be accumulating assets once they're going down. We want to go back in stable coins. We take this 157, we print for 2 years in stable coins, getting about 10 to 20% per year, which is great. And then we can go back in blue chips in the accumulation phase on Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, HBAR, Solana, whatever coins you believe in that are still around in 26 and 27 to ride up for future bull runs to come. And that's just the crazy reality of a $70,000 difference in 3 to 4 months by just putting assets to work. And again, we've got guys doing this. I've shared this before, and I'll just take you to my group here. And we've got Brock here. There's another testimony here of a guy doing blooming $3,800 per day, which is crazy. But you can see here, Brock, he's doing this exact pool, right? He's got 2 pools going, and collectively that's bringing him about $4,000 per week. It's actually more than that. We need to update this. $4,000 per week in this XRP and Ethereum pool. And he's getting about $16,000. I think it's about $19,000 at the time of recording, because he is compounding. So it's pretty effing crazy what you can do just using XRP and Ethereum. And obviously you could scale this to other coins. You could take the fees and start new pools, take the fees and just buy Bitcoin, take the fees and just buy USDC to live your life, quit your job, whatever. It's absolutely crazy. Now, again, if you want to learn how Brock was doing this, and you can see how we're doing this and work with us one-to-one, we do have a free call, limited spots open. We're probably going to cap this pretty much soon because we have over 100 members. It's only for qualified people, but even if you're not qualified, you can book a free call and still get a strategy where you don't have to buy anything. So go and check that out. I would love to know your thoughts on what you think of this strategy with that XRP and Ethereum, and what you're doing yourself in decentralized finance, man. It's only going to change the game. It's only going to get stronger. There's more bigger players to come, but I think the fees are going to start going down because more people come in. Obviously, the fees are going down, but it's absolutely crazy in these two scenarios. You can print a fucking AP iced out if you wanted to. Obviously, don't do that. Stack the cash, quit your job first, and then do whatever you want. So peace and take care. I'd love to know your thoughts, and goodbye.